On third down, deep drop, Goff taking a shot downfield for Williams, who's open. Jameson's got it to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jameson Williams.
Me personally, I expect to have a big game. I guess this is just big to the world just because it's my first one. But I plan to have a lot more, you know. I don't plan on this being my best game of my career. I plan on this just being the starter, you know, me being me.
A breakout game from Jameson Williams, the one we've been waiting for. Who's eating good? Served by Applebee's. Jameson Williams was eating good week 1, Matthew. And how does that affect him going into week 2? We've been waiting for this one.
Look, certainly you're very encouraged by this. Like, does he get that much of a target share? He had a 32% target share. It was a game where both Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown were fairly quiet. As was Khalif Raymond. It all got sucked up basically by Jameson Williams and the running backs here. It was career high in fantasy points, receiving yards, targets, receptions, blah, 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 blah. But I think the most encouraging thing here is an 85% snap rate. Right? He played all over the field. He did a lot of great things here, and it's his first time in a regular season game having a snap rate above 70%. Feels like he's finally fully healthy. He finally completely understands the route tree, that he has a much more expanded role in this offense. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm at wide receiver 30 this week, so I'm a borderline wide receiver 3 this week. But we've never questioned the talent. It's always been, can he put it all together? Can he get healthy? And can the lines use him the right way? And early indications in week 1 are that all the offseason talk from Dan Campbell about this is going to be a big Jameson Williams year. We're counting on this guy. Our confidence in him is one of the reasons why we let Josh Reynolds leave. Might have also been the 2 bad drops, but in the playoffs that cost him a Super Bowl. No big deal. What are we going to say? But I do think Jameson Williams is more legit than not.
I mean, look at him here on this video. You see him catching the football at every single level, and that's when you know, like, you a bona fide for real wide receiver. Him, along with Xavier Worthy and Jaden Reed, where all 3 of these guys was in my optimal flex plays for week 1, and Jameson Williams ended up wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 5. Wide receiver 5. Then you think about it, they're playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looked good on offense in week 1. This game total was 51.5. That's by more than 2.5 points than the next highest game. So you're going to get some back and forth here, much like you got with the Los Angeles Rams. I got him at wide receiver 27. Obviously, he may not get 121 yards every single game, but this is a 1,000-plus yard receiver, and I think that starts this season. Got him as wide receiver 27.
The game's in Detroit as well this Sunday, which is helpful. Again, another game for Goff and Jameson Williams in a dome at home against the Buccaneers.
And I think to your point, Lawrence, just seeing him so involved in Ben Johnson's offense, it wasn't, hey, here's a deep shot, or two off-script plays, or reverse. Right. It was legitimate routes. They had him going on a shallow cross. They had him working deep. They just wanted the ball in his hands.
Just beautiful stuff, to
tripled
be honest,
his targets, his career high in targets for a game.
It's nice to know for that. Like, the offense just got scarier, because now you're not just worrying about Amon-Ra St. Brown on both sides of the slots. You're worrying about Jameson Williams everywhere because of that speed and explosiveness.
Right. And Laporta. And, oh, by the way, they can always dump it up to Gibbs in the backfield, and he can take off for the races. Montgomery moves the pile. If you're a Lions fan,
it's a good-looking team.
Good-looking team. One pride. One pride.
You got that one.
One pride.
You should tweak every team hashtag just a little bit and see if it'll catch on. Like you did Bird Up.
Right, Bird Up.
One roar. Yeah, there we go.
One roar.
One roar.
Instead of Giants pride, like Giants Respecter.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to try to switch it
came up with a couple of good ones.
Anyway, our stage manager, Kenny, lifelong Lions fan.
Yeah,
so
he's riding high.
Oh, my God.
As he should be. He waited long enough.
We've been working on this show for 3 years. I've never seen him smiling more than I've seen him,
I agree.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Kenny loves it. Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
I'll tell you who else is smiling. Alec Pierce with that bomb he caught from Anthony Richardson, Lawrence. That's probably the prettiest ball he's ever seen coming his way in his life down the field like that. Yeah. The real question is, though, they got the Packers, right? We talked about how the Colts are going to be hungry both teams going to be hungry to get their first win.
Yeah.
Can he stay involved like this in the offense, especially with Josh Downs down right now?
He definitely earned himself some more snaps, but this was a very high efficient day for him at receiver. I mean, he did it on, that Randy Moss meme where it show him looking and it's like 3 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was Alec Pierce. But I would say pump the brakes on throwing him into your lineup because we didn't have a good day out of Michael Pittman fantasy-wise. You're missing Josh Downs. And oh, by the way, Adonai Mitchell, we could be talking about him right now had Anthony Richardson been able to connect with him on one deep ball and the other was about a 30-yarder that Richardson, he completely missed that one. But it's there. You see Anthony Richardson is getting after it. But I think that guy more consistently will eventually be Adonai Mitchell. And when Josh Downs gets back, that's who Anthony Richardson built up his most chemistry with last season. If you see that touchdown pass he had to Ashton Doolin where he caught it over the middle, raced to the end zone, that's going to be Josh Downs, and that's what Anthony Richardson is going to be looking for. So great week for Alec Pierce. He definitely was depended on and was very reliable, but week to week, this is probably not what you're going to get.
Yeah, I didn't rank him this week, to your point, 3 targets. Now, 2 of them were more than 50 yards, and I think that's encouraging, right? And by the way, there was camp report that Alec Pierce had a good camp. Like, there were moments last year, there were flashes, and it seems like, in terms of what we know about Anthony Richardson, he likes to run the ball and he likes to chuck it deep. And so the deep threats are going to have some value here. But, right, it's hard to sit here and say, like, oh, you got to go grab Alec Pierce. I don't mind if in a deeper league, again, you stash him, see what happens here. But we haven't seen Josh Downs yet in this offense, to your point, Lawrence, as well. And A.D. Mitchell, he's coming as well. So if Pierce does it for another week, then I'm in. But for now, it's a sort of keep the name on the radar. Good to know that there's talent there and they will throw deep and he's part of that deep passing attack. But hard to see him having consistent fantasy success.
He can run, can't he?
He can.
Great athlete.
Oh, 100%. You look like me out there.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Lawrence, you had to cover me. You saw me at
I know all about
Stadium.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You and Alec Pierce,
Me and
like
Alec
right
Pierce,
here, right?
Exactly. Exactly right. Deep threats. But anyway, I did not rank him this week. So Lawrence and I are on the same page.
Another surprise, Alan Lazard with his old quarterback back on the fold. Lazard goes off. 6 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Connor, you're Mr. Jets here. I'm just going to ask you, Alan Lazard last year was a $40 million healthy scratch. Now, he catches 2 touchdown passes on Monday night. One is in junk time from Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
Yes.
The other was a classic free play from Rodgers.
Right.
You'll see right here.
Exactly. Just whatever. He had the flag, and he's just like, all right, screw it.
That's great stuff, to be honest.
But that's Lazard and Rodgers playing together for years and years and years. And,
right,
and Lazard knows exactly the mental connection. So I ask you, Connor J. Rogers, host of 8 billion different podcasts that aren't this one, what should we do with Alan Lazard?
If you're desperate, you can play him the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike Williams is on a pitch count. And when I mean pitch count, Mike Williams is, giving you, 6 to 10 snaps. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's coming off an ACL. It's going to take time. Him and Garrett Wilson look good together, but that's going to take time. Tyler Conklin, not involved at all. Breece Hall, not his best day through the air. Alan Lazard is a real thing right now. Xavier Gipson and Malachi Corley, nowhere to be found. Corley played 1 snap. Lazard is legitimately a number 2 in an Aaron Rodgers-led offense right now, Lawrence.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly. Emphasize on the word for right now. Mike Williams only played 18% of the snaps. That offense is going to be at its best when Mike Williams gets up to speed. So, if, like you said, if you're desperate, I guess get it while the getting is good, but just know that that's Alan Lazard's best game from a reception and yardage standpoint since week 4 of 2022. 2022.
Yeah.
We in 2024 right now,
Yes,
Matthew.
we are. Yes, sir.
So,
he's my wide receiver 51 this week, but again, I didn't rank Alec Pierce. So to your point,
Desperation
Connor,
flex.
If you are desperate, they're on the road to Tennessee this week. You expect that L'Jarius Sneed is going to pay a lot of attention to Garrett Wilson in this one as well. So there may be some more opportunities for Lazard on the road at the Titans. He's my wide receiver 51. What do you know? America's nipples are hard for Alan Lazard. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines,
all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.